Adi shebi ayalari, ayo shebi babe nìkan. Abi double now, ayelo eri unkan. Congrats up, you know I'm on fire. No be beast up, congrats up. You know I need to do an open, but I have congrats up, put up power. And you are there now, congrats up, put up power. And you are gone now. Adi shebi ayalari, ayo shebi babe nìkan. Abi double now. Congrats up, you know I'm on fire. No be beast up, congrats up. You know I need to do an open, but I abolish, anywhere we are doing a part. That's in love, one will up, like I did love. Oh, we know up to the break of them, baby love. But guess that you owe money, call your body them. They couldn't join body. Chiquitos day, yeah, they won't follow Judy. Party, jolly, party, with the body. Shots Cody, make your eye dirty. From now till eternity. Congrats up, put to power. And you are there. Congrats up, put to power. And you are gone now. Adi shebi ayalari, ayo shebi babe nìkan. Abi double now. Ayelo eri unkan. Government worker, you collect salary. Kamari, give me my gomodu. Give my day, you read me before I play loco. Don't be me, you know. Soldier, kaki no be leather. Every Friday for sun prosper. Lot of doubt to that kind of weather. Life too short to know. Nobody knows tomorrow. That's the way I sorrow. Do like no tomorrow. Money speaking. Any idea? Waiting. Shut up. Imagine Demi. I go. I'm more. Congrats up. You know. Congrats up. Ayo shebi babe nìkan. Abi double now, ayelo eri unkan. Congrats up, ó ti sọ. Ewole ewelu oko. Congrats up, ó ti sọ. See people on the floor. Congrats up, ó ti sọ. My personality no matter at all. Congrats up, ó ti sọ. All I want is cash and fun. Congrats up, Iba Shile. Congrats up, if I buy Bentley. Congrats up, Kilo Day. Congrats up, Ejakin Dayemi. Ejakin Shayemi. Ejakin Dayemi. Shayemi, Peme Dayemi. You know. Congrats up, Putu Pau. Yeah. And you are there. Congrats up, Putu Pau. And you are gone now. Adi shebi ayalari. Ayo shebi babe nìkan. Abi double now. Ayelo eri unkan. Congrats up, Putu Pau. And you are there. Congrats up, Putu Pau. And you are gone now. Adi shebi ayalari. Ayo shebi babe nìkan. Abi double now. Ayelo eri unkan. Mami. Now we do. Nice. No, that's that. Bello.
Online 24/7. Tag Community Voice Radio. The radio station for Thurex BAME community. Subscribe, listen live, and download our app from the Apple and Google App Stores.
Hello, listeners and viewers, and welcome to the first edition of Health Awareness Show in 2025. I see this opportunity to wish you happy New Year and good luck in 2025. My name is Ayo Adio, a health journalist, and I will be taking you through the second part of Last Orders, please. Previously, we did Last Orders Part 1. And today, we're going to conclude this discussion. Last Orders, please. I have with me here the producer of Tag Radio, Mr. Kazim Balogun. He will be joining me later in the program to ask him questions. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
Now let's do a recap on what we did previously on last Others Part 1. We did talk about alcohols. Yeah, I said, what are alcohols? Alcohols are organic compounds which contains the hydroxyl group. And we have different types of alcohol. We have ethanol, we have methanol, we have propanol, just to mention a little bit. But ethanol is the commonest one, which is in most alcoholic beverages. By the way, alcoholic beverages, we have different names for it. Some people call it wine, some people call it liquor, some people call it booze, some people call it cocktail. The common factor is that it contains ethanol, and ethanol is a drug, but it's been accepted worldwide as a recreational drug. Now, scientifically, alcohol is measured in units. So, for example, 250 ml of 4% beer is considered as a unit, while 25 ml of 40% whiskey is considered as a unit scientifically. Now, according to the medical profession, one should not take more than 14 units in a week to be at the safe limit. And these 14 units must not be taken at a sitting. If you want to take these 14 units, must be taken over 3 or 4 days, so as to not to harm the body. But people take more than 14 units, and consequently, there are consequences for this. Yeah, some of the consequences for alcohol, and I mean what it causes if you drink excess, are you have loss of coordination because of alcohol in the system. The body will not be able to coordinate with each other. That's why they say don't drink and drive. You must never drink and drive, because if you drink and drive, you're not coordinating. You don't know what's coming next and everything, and this could lead to fatal accidents. So you must never drink or drive. If you go to a place, you take your car there, and you find yourself consuming alcohol, just leave your car there and enter a bus or taxi and get home, or you can even walk home. Don't risk it to drive home, because it could lead to fatal accident. So other consequences of alcohol is slurred speech, able to speak properly, sexual dysfunction, that person will not be able to perform well on bed, and can lead to stroke. These are consequences of drinking excess alcohol. Excess alcohol also causes cancer of the mouth or the throat, yeah, and it also causes pancreatic cancer as well. Yeah, pancreas is an organ in the alimentary canal which produces insulin. Insulin, if somebody those listening to this program, we've talked about insulin before. Insulin is an enzyme or a catalyst, yeah, that helps break down sugars in the body. So excess alcohol damage this pancreas and can cause cancer, can cause it the damage of cancer. So other consequences of alcohol is high blood pressure. One can have high blood pressure, and that leads to fatal consequences. I've mentioned stroke, yes, high blood pressure. Now, drinking. Some people are moderate drinkers. That means they stay within the limit, the 14 units limit, and they don't drink every day. So, but one must watch it. Yeah, you need to watch it, because there's a fine line between moderate drinking and progressing to alcoholism. Yeah, and what I mean by that is that somebody staying within 14 units this week, if he or she is not will-powered, progressively it can move to 15 units, a week, 16 units next week, 17 units, and progresses to more than 20 units. That's why some people say alcoholism sneaks to you. So if one doesn't sort of put foot down or well disciplined and do some other things, one can easily move from a moderate drinker to an alcoholic. Now, majorly today, we want to sort of address the issue that if one finds himself or herself drinking too much, how can one pull back? How can one get out of this challenge? As I've said in previous program, alcohol kills over, according to statistics, alcohol kills over 11,000 people yearly in UK. One must not be part of the statistics. So if you're out there and you feel you're having problem with alcohol, yes, I want you to pay attention to this program. We'll tell you one of the some of the ways which you can get out of this challenge. Well, if one finds himself in this situation, one can go for counseling. Yeah, counseling. You talk to someone who is is a professional or who you reckon can give you advice, who you reckon can talk to you and sort of find the root cause of going into drinking too much. Okay, at this junction, I'm going to ask Mr. Kazim. What can you tell us about counseling as regards to someone is drinking too much?
Wow. First and foremost, thank you, Mr. Adio, for having me on your show.
Yeah.
And for the benefit of those that may not know me, my name is Kazim Balogun. I'm a presenter, writer, content creator, producer. I wear many different hats for the world best online radio station, Tag Radio. Okay. So thank you once more for having me on your show. It's a pleasure for me to actually be here. And I know that the topic we are talking about is a very sensitive topic. And as far as your question in regards to, please remind me the question. What's the question again?
Yeah, the question again. The background is that people over the Christmas have been celebrating drinking alcohol and alcoholic beverages. But if someone now sort of find out that, look, it seems I'm drinking too much, and I've just mentioned that, well, if somebody finds out he or she's drinking too much, I said you should go for counseling. I just want you to sort of tell us something more. Counseling. Where can somebody go for counseling, or what can you? I want you to shed some light on that.
Absolutely. Okay. I think I get the question now. So for my clarity, if somebody who is exposed to alcohol and they want to come out of it and they want to go for counseling, what avenues of counseling can they actually explore, right?
Yeah.
So first and foremost, I think that's a wonderful question. So counseling is very important because counseling, as the word stands, is to counsel you from whatever it is you want to come out of. So in this particular case, the issue of alcohol. So in this particular in this particular case. So counseling will be very, very appropriate for that person. So I don't know if there are your listeners and viewers out there who are actually listening or watching this show, because this information is very important for you. So you can actually go through counseling. So essentially, there's different ways of counseling. So counseling, if depending on your faith, you could talk to your pastor in your church. You could open up. Again, there has to be some sort of trust there. That's some sort of trust that do I trust this person? Is this person is this somebody? Because counseling involves a level of vulnerability. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be able to say exactly what you're going through, no matter how embarrassing it may be for you. You have to be very, very open, because my mom taught me this, a closed mouth is a closed heaven. So you don't heal what you don't reveal. It's one thing to reveal and it's one thing to get healing, but you can never heal what you never reveal. So counseling will come into play if the person counseling you is a trustworthy person. Is that person experienced enough to counsel you through that situation? Does that person has the requisite skill sets to be able to counsel you for you to get healing? So counseling is an important aspect of when you want to come out of alcoholism, so that they can help you. They can draw up a plan for you, a plan for you to follow, and that person will be there to hold your hand and support you every single step of the way. So you have to be, in order to find the right counselor to counsel you. You can go to, if you are going through issues like this, you can talk to your GP. Your local GP should be able to refer you to the appropriate counseling services for you to be able to be counseled accordingly.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so counseling is an important issue, but you need to talk to a professional or somebody who has got a skill set to be able to sort of talk you through the challenge of alcohol. That leads to another way.
Just before we proceed, to clarify the issue of faith, because counseling can be from, if you want to go through the professional medical services, you can always talk to your GP. So it's always, again, I would like to put a disclaimer out there. Again, this is by way of giving information and equipping our local community with the necessary information for you to be able to make an informed decision. But the decision lies in your hands for you to consult the appropriate counselor to help you get out of this particular issue. Now, I mentioned something about faith. Now, some people may prefer to go through the professional counseling by engaging the services of their GP, who can refer them to a professional counselor. And some people might want their counseling to be from a place of faith. So that is where, whether you're a Muslim or whether you're a Christian, whatever your faith is, some people may trust their religious leader to counsel them. So long as you have a transparent, open relationship with that religious leader of yours, you can always go to them for them to counsel you, and they will counsel you in line with your faith. So if you are a Christian, they will counsel you in line with the Christian concepts. If you are a Muslim, they will counsel you in line with the mosque concepts, with the Muslim concepts. And however, those are not the only channels of counseling. You can always engage your GP, your friends who might be experienced in that particular issue. Maybe you have a friend you can open up to, who you can be vulnerable to, and that person has made it the ambition to be there for you, to support you every step of the way. So counseling can come in various forms. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, I have to go through a professional, I have to know. So long as you know someone who has been through, or who shares, or who identifies with you, who has been through the same issues you're going through, and they have come out of it, and they can share those lessons learned with you. They can decide to counsel you and help you. But there are many avenues to counseling. It now depends on you which avenue you think is appropriate for you, and it's down to you to make that decision. So like I said earlier, this is just us equipping you with information, but at the end of the day, you are the one that will decide what's best for you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kazim. Yes, so counseling, I mean, choose the appropriate counseling channel that you think will work for you. So we now move on to therapy. Yes, we know that there's some therapy clinics over there which they're not free, and they could help as well to overcome the challenge of drinking too much. Mr. Kazim, I just want you to talk briefly on therapy. I mean, as regards quitting excessive drinking of alcohol.
Absolutely. Thank you for that wonderful question. Therapy, again, and as the word suggests, therapy, that one is a professional service. You definitely want to make sure you are consulting a therapy that is licensed. Okay, it's completely different from counseling now. Because counseling, there are varieties of channels to I'm so sorry about that. There are varieties of channels to counseling, but when it comes to therapy, especially, therapy is a professional service, and you have to make sure wherever you're going to be engaging as a therapy is a licensed therapy. They can actually carry out that particular area of work. So you have to make sure that you have to do your due diligence to make sure that you are not just consulting a quack a quack therapist, but you also want to make sure that you are engaging with a therapy who is in tune and in line with what you're dealing with, who can actually support you in what you're dealing with. And you also want to maybe consult with a therapist who can identify with you, because now it's all about representation. Because I'm not going to be sitting in front of a therapist that I can't identify with, then that person is not actually representing me in the way I desire to be represented. So therapists, again, I will say that because I'm a product of therapy. I always encourage therapy. I encourage it strongly, because now therapy is not designed to provide you with the answers. That's not what they do. But what they do is that they tend to support you to identify the solution, so they will listen. They are there to listen to your stories, to listen to what you're going through, and they will work with you to help you identify an equitable solution. But at the end of the day, you are in charge of that solution. You are the one that would so they will help you through the issues. They will help you identify the root cause of that issue, and you will find out that through therapy, many people probably went into drinking by way of masking up their emotions, or masking up what is hurting them deep down that they didn't actually reveal. So they are using maybe drugs, alcohol, and all manners of different things by way of to numb that pain. But at the end of the day, when you drink alcohol and your eye don't clear, your eye will actually clear now, because the alcohol is not the answer. It will just numb you for a few hours. You enjoy yourself for a few hours, and after you wake up, probably you wake up feeling what's that word? There's a word I'm looking for. It will come to me after you are drunk, and then you wake up. There's a word, I just can't find that word, but drinking, it will wear out after a few hours, and then you're back to reality. You're back to that same pain, that same issue, that same situation. So therapy aims to tease out because the real issue is not drinking. There's more something deeper. Those people who are addicted to drinking. There are some people who drink by way of socialization. They know how to manage their drinking, and those people who preach to you that the Bible didn't say drinking is wrong. After all, didn't Jesus turn water to wine? And that's not a debate I want to get into.
No,
That's a debate I want to get into. I normally find a way to, when it's getting there, I find a way to remove myself from those, because I'm not, look, if you want to drink, it's your life. It's your life. But so long as I've told you, my job is to tell you the effects of it, the ripple effects of it, what it could cause. I mean, you will drink, you will drive, you will have a car accident, you will potentially knock somebody down the road, all because you didn't control the issue of drinking. Now, the issue of drinking, in the case of therapy, goes way beyond, because therapy, for somebody to be addicted to drugs, to smoking, to drinking, to all manners of things, there's a deeper level of problem there that therapy will help you to identify. And then once they've identified the root cause, then the solution becomes easy to work to a solution, to maybe produce some sort of detailed and comprehensive plan for you to stick to, so you don't relapse. So therapy is there. So that's why it's very important to consult a very, very skilled therapist who is good in psychology, who knows how to question you, who knows how to listen, who will listen to your story, and who knows how to help you out of that. So therapy, and if you are going to engage the services of a therapy, as I said earlier, make sure it's not a quack therapist. You do your due diligence and make sure that this therapist is what's the word I'm looking for? This particular therapist is deeply experienced, has the requisite experience in the area, in the issues you're going through, and they can help you, put a plan of action that will better support you to come out of the issue of whether it's alcohol, drugs, or whatever the case might be. So therapy is very good, but as I said, therapy is different from counseling, because therapy is a professional service, and whoever is going to be providing you with the service of therapist has to be recognized and has to be licensed.
Right. So therapy, you need to consult an experienced and licensed person to find the root cause of where the excessive drinking is coming from. By the way, as I said, moderate drinkers, they're able to stay within the units, recommended units of drinking weekly. Now, we're just talking about people who drink excessively. You can imagine some people drink 5 bottles of wine a day. That's SX. Some people, and they chase it down with whiskey. You know what I mean? So, when you ask, I've asked a friend I know that drinks like that. I did ask him, why are you drinking this much? What he can tell me is that yes, it gives him a buzz and a joyful moment. You know what I mean? But that buzz and joyful moment, I would like to use the word fake, because it's only for a few minutes. Then that buzz goes away. So when buzz goes away, it's now start drinking again to experience the same buzz. And what's the buzz? Just feeling a bit, say feels a bit happy and so on. So, but then, what I want just to put across is that feeling happy or feeling high is temporary. The body does not like it, because as soon as you take in alcohol, the body is rejecting it. Yes, by the way of yearning for the alcohol to come out, by the way of going to the loo to let some of the alcohol come away through the urine, then the liver and the kidneys now start working of eliminating the alcohol. So primarily, it's not good for the body. So the body is finding a way of taking it out as fast as it can. Now, let's go back about support for alcoholic. We've talked about counseling and therapy. We now go to accountability. So by accountability, I mean, you should be able to account for yourself. why am I drinking this much? How many bottles of wine am I taking? I need to reduce it. I mean, you give yourself a target. Let's say you've been drinking 3 bottles a day. Say, look, I want to make it 2. You account for yourself. Yes. Then make sure you stay at 2. And from 2, come to 1. Yes. Until come to half. Until even ask yourself, why am I drinking in the first instance? Yeah. But someone who can help you with this accountability, I mean, must have like a mentor. A mentor is somebody who sort of oversees what you are doing. I mean, you encourage him or her to oversee what you're doing. But look, this is what I've realized. I'm drinking too much. Now I want to be accountable. Now I want to be able. I just want to take 2 bottles a day. In case I take more than 2 bottles, just talk to me. I can reduce it. So in this journey of reducing excessive consumption of alcohol, you might need a mentor, somebody you look up to as a friend, as a friend or as a colleague, or who can sort of talk to, I mean, work with you so that you can reduce the consumption of alcohol. Do you want to sort of have the word on this issue of mentoring and accountability?
Absolutely. I also quickly want to touch on therapists as well. Just one more point on that.
Okay.
For those who are looking for therapists, who want to engage the services of a therapist, I mean, you can do that by consulting your GP first. You can consult your doctor, and then your doctor should be able to. They will normally have a list of licensed therapists that they normally work with. So one of them could be talking therapists by the NHS. So the NHS has a detailed list of therapists, and there are also private therapists as well. So depending on what your budget, because not all therapists are free. You get me right now?
Yeah.
Not all therapists they free. Yeah. So no go talk say Nakazim talk say. I know I didn't say that too. Not all therapists are free. Some therapists they charge for their time, sitting there, listening to your situation and taking notes and all that stuff. So you could also do your due diligence by, conducting a research on private therapists. You also call them to find more information about them. So just to make sure that you are satisfied before you then decide to engage their services. So if you are out there and you are under the sound of our voice and you are experiencing these types of situations and you are ready, you are ready to make, you are committing yourself to a change, then take that step by engaging the services of a therapist. You can start with the NHS first before you start doing, researching private therapists, because they can be quite costly. So there are costs involved. There is nothing that is free. Okay, there's nothing that is free. There's normally a cost, and you have to be prepared to shoulder that particular cost if it's really going to be beneficial for you. Okay, so in the area of accountability, now accountability goes both ways. First, the person who is committing themselves to a change, you have to be accountable for your actions, because at the end of the day, you did it. That's the honest truth, For all you did. So I'm speaking Yoruba on your show. Please forgive me. For those that don't understand what I just said, it means live talk. You did it. It's like when you commit a crime. God forbid. I pray nobody commits a crime. But when you commit a crime and you committed the crime, what do? You own up. You own up, because that's you taking responsibility. That's you being accountable for what you did, unless you want to deny it. But on this matter, we are talking about alcohol. So you are the one going through the issue. So you need to take stock, take inventory, and be accountable for your action. Because at the end of the day, nobody forced you to drink. I mean, this is a hard talk now, and for me, I'm sorry to say, I'm a straight talker. I'm very, very direct. That's the way I was brought up. I don't have time for pity party. That's the way I was brought up. It's better to address the issue headstrong. So take accountability for your own actions. Don't blame. It's not about shifting blame. And because my parents were divorced, and this happened to me in my childhood, that happened to me, and this happened to me, this friend. I get all of that, and those are really terrible circumstances that I wouldn't even wish on my enemy. And I get what you're going through, and the way I'm talking right now may seem, he's not understanding. Why is it being difficult? Trust me, I get it. But if you're truly going to heal, if you're truly going to be a good person, a changed person, a better person for yourself, for your family, and for your future, forget your family now. There are some people who even have kids. They have children, but because of when they drink alcohol, they begin to exhibit behaviors that is unfair on their family. It's unfair on the children. No children deserves to, because one thing that alcohol could potentially do is make you may not necessarily be a violent person, but once you start engaging in alcohol, it's likely going to influence your behavior, not in a positive light, in a negative light. And then your family those children don't deserve to be, in the midst of an alcohol mom or an alcoholic dad. It does nothing. It only creates more trauma for them. And when they grow up, they begin to think that is the norm, and then that generational curse, I'm sorry to use that word, passes on to them. So it's very important for you to know that you're committing to a change because of some very important people in your life. If you're not going to do it for yourself, take accountability, because you have, some of you may have kids, some of you may have parents, some of you may have other important commitments that you need to take the accountability for. So when we are talking about accountability starts with the person, with the person who is ready, who have committed themselves to change. Take accountability for your actions first and foremost. Then the other side of accountability is find accountability partners. Accountability, for me, till today, I have accountability partners. People, there are some, if nobody can correct you, if you are living a life that nobody can call you and scold you and tell you, oh boy, you are going the wrong direction, oh boy, you are doing the wrong thing, then trust me, you are living a very dangerous life. I will repeat that one more time. If nobody can call you to order and say, this line you are going in a destructive line, then you are living then you need to watch it. So having accountability partners who won't just tell you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. That's what we mean by accountability partners. People you can be vulnerable with, people you can call and say, Oga, sorry, I love Mr. Ayo's show because I can really be, I can be in my, in my element. People you can call. I have them on my phone. People I can call and say, sir, I've messed up again. This thing I said I wouldn't do. Hey, I didn't know I've done it again. And they will check me if I need to be checked. They will check me proper. They will check me. And then, because why? It fixes me up. It lets me know that, and you need to have those people. But if peradventure you don't have those people, then you are walking in a destructive line. So, first and foremost, be accountable. Own up. Surrender. If you have to put your hands up. I messed up. I surrender. Then what you are saying is you need help. Then help will come. But if you know you messed up and then you are still fronting, you are still acting like a big boy, you are still no shaking, you're not going to get help. Then help yourself. But if you want to be accountable one to yourself. You have to come to that realization. Taking accountability means that you have come to the realization that you recognize that this life you are living, this being addicted to alcohol, this over excessive drinking of alcohol is not good for you. You have come to that notion, you have come to that conclusion. That's what you taking accountability is, and then help will come, and then you can then now that means that you are embracing a position of humility, and then you are ready for help.
All right. Yes. So yes, accountability, and you have to own up. Mentoring, look up for somebody who you can look up to, who can give you a word of advice to be online. So moving forward, it brings us to how to stop drinking. I mean, so the foremost thing is to admit, as you've said, look, one must admit there's a problem here. There's a challenge. If one is drinking more than 14 units every now and then, if one is affected by alcohol, I mean, as you said, alcohol triggers violence in the home. Drinking excess alcohol can lead to not being able to sleep. I mean, these are the consequences of alcohol. So one needs to admit there's a problem. I was reading a passage the other time concerning alcohol and alcoholism. It says that if one admits there is a problem, then the problem is 50% solved. You see, I mean that's great. If one admits there's a problem, yes, the problem is 50% solved. Then the next step will be, how do I come out of this situation? How do I come out of this challenge of excessive drinking? Then there comes some of what we're talking earlier on, and setting goals for on how to reduce the consumption of alcohol. I mean, some people can talk themselves through. Look, I want to reduce my drinking of alcohol. How do I control the urges of drinking alcohol? I mean, so these are things some people will write down. When does the urges come? If I have an urge to drink alcohol, what do I do? Some people, when they have the urge of drinking alcohol, instead of going to the shop and buying a drink, they just open a book and read. I mean, by the time they read the book, their mind goes away from mind of drinking alcohol. They get immersed in the book, and that urge is gone. Some people do some drawing, yes, to take their mind off the craving for alcohol, yes. Yeah, some people just walk, go to the park, just do some walking around, think some other things. So one has to admit there's a problem. Then secondly, one has to set the goals. Say, what are the things I'm going to do when I have the urge of drinking alcohol? I'm going to read a book. I'm going to walk around. Yes. I'm going to phone my mentor. Yes. I'm going to listen to music. Whatever comes to your mind that you like to do, just to take your mind off the thinking of alcohol. And you'll be surprised when your mind is off, you forget about it. And once you've forgotten about it, then you move on to do your normal set of things you do normally during the day. I mean, also some people sort of use willpower. Willpower is something we develop individually. Everybody has his own way of developing willpower. I mean, with willpower, some people will term it as forcing yourself not to do what is bad. Say, look, I'm not going to drink alcohol now. I mean, tell yourself, I'm not going to drink alcohol now. I'm not going to drink alcohol now. So with that, one can sort of stay off. I mean, some faith people, they pray to whoever they believe in, God, and that will help as well. And some people have some mantra. So what they say, that sort of boost their, internal consciousness to avoid drinking excessively. the point is that I was speaking to someone who drinks alcohol, who drinks a lot of alcohol. I mean, he told me that over a year he spent £100,000 drink on alcohol. £100,000. That's a lot, because he orders alcohol through the delivery system, just drinking around the clock. Yeah, he's got the money, but then that's not how to spend the money. So, apart from health issues of excessive drinking of alcohol, there's economical issues as well. Yes, and there's a family issue as well. So, one needs to check oneself and see what stage one is. I mean, we're not standing on moral high ground here. All what we're trying to do is just to give you some information, and you're free to make your own personal decision. But there's always help out there, and you need to sort of utilize that help. When we're talking about therapy, there's some charity organizations there like Forward, like the Alcoholic Anonymous. One can contact them and leave some information. They'll come back to you as well to take you forward on the journey of leaving alcohol. But the most important thing is that one must be willing. One must be willing to leave drinking excessively. Then they'll be able to assist. If not, one will not. They can't help. So we're going to be going on a short break now. Then we continue when we're done. Yeah, thanks for listening, and stay tuned.
Say my baby, you know Sunday or when you coming like Onyeka or when you, and if you give, I could take you, oh, shake you. I still the start of your case, you cannot go make a mistake, you, and if you leave, I could press you. Been a setup, you don't do your booty, now your body better. I no go live, I never make a no regret. Every day different palava. The other day when I jam Natasha, just say I give Lala day banana. Wanna be me to a mo na na na. One time for my baby, you know Sunday or when you coming like Onyeka or when you, and if you give I could take you, oh shake you. I still they study your case, you cannot go make a mistake, you, and if you leave I could press you, because you be my order. I put something for your hands, you give me some another. You go be my baby mama. I will push and go. Show more, that's her body to turn. She don't say nothing when I dip it from my tongue. And then they catch you cool and I they see I'm a turn. Your body make me strong, I'm feeling like Jackie Chan. But if you use me, Shannon, no go pick your call. So make you no go tell me at all. Say my baby, you know Sunday or when you coming like Onyeka or when you, and if you give, I could take you, oh, shake you. I still the start of your case, you cannot go make a mistake, you, and if you leave, I could press you, because you be my order. I put something for your hands, you give me some another. You go be my baby mama.
Online 24/7. Tag Community Voice Radio. The radio station for Thurex BAME community. Subscribe, listen live, and download our app from the Apple and Google App Stores.
She told them she was waiting for the one that God was sent to fulfill a kind of craving, a special kind of loving, one with lot of understanding. Come rain, come shining. People started to say that she wanted more than a Mr. Right. All that she wanted was a man that sees the light. They say she's a fool for being uptight, when all that she wants is good love, not be fight. Special kind of girl, hard to come by. This kind of girl, now you might want to make my wife. You're the one, say no more. Don't bother about what the people say, cause I say, every time that I look into your eyes, I see fire in there. Fire. And if you look into my eye, you see desire in there. Desire. Girl, if love is a crime, then I want to be wanted. Said if love is a crime, I'm willing to be haunted. Got a lot of respect for you, cause your kind is so rare. So rare. It's kinda hard to imagine, but I know you're out there. You're out there. And if love is a crime, then I want to be wanted. If love is a crime, I'm willing to be haunted. She said to me, do you wanna be the last man standing? She said to me, do you wanna be the one that them complimenting? Oh yeah, girl, I wanna be your beginning and your ending. Oh, I wanna be the only one that you be sending. I can't believe she's still a virgin. Lots of guys have been up to her, but there was no compromising. She be strong, she be keeping herself until the day of her wedding. Under the right ceiling, with the right person, a person deserving of a special kind of loving. Every time that I look into your eyes, I see fire in there. Fire. And if you look into my eyes, you see desire in there. Desire. Girl, if love is a crime, then I want to be wanted. Said if love is a crime, I'm willing to be haunted. Hey, I got a lot of respect for you, cause your kind is so rare. So rare. It's kinda hard to imagine, but I know you're out there. You're out there. And if love is a crime, then I want to be wanted. Said if love is a crime, I'm willing to be haunted. So keep the fire burning. Keep the fire burning, burning, burning. Fire burning. Keep the fire burning. Keep it fire burning. Keep the fire burning, burning, burning. Fire burning. Keep it burning. Keep it burning. Even love is a crime, then I like to they go jail. I said if love is a crime, then I prefer to they stay jail. Keep the fire burning. Keep the fire burning. Burning, burning. See, every time that I look into your eyes, I see fire in there. And if you look into my eyes, you see desire in there. Girl, if love is a crime, if love is a crime, if love is a crime.
Online 24/7. Tag Community Voice Radio. The radio station for Thurex BAME community. Subscribe, Listen live and download our app from the Apple and Google App Stores.
Hello, welcome our viewers and listeners to the last segment of Health Awareness Show. My name is Ayo Adio. Please do subscribe to us on the social platforms to boost our presence. We're on Facebook. Like us, share us on Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube. Yes, I still have with me my guest, Mr. Kazim, who is the producer of Tag Radio. So now we're going practical. And when I mean by practical is a life experience. Yes, Mr. Kazim used to drink more than 40 units of alcohol every week. Guess what? He doesn't drink anymore. So, Mr. Kazim, how did you stop drinking?
How did I stop drinking? Oh, which one are you asking me now? How did I get into drinking, or how did I stop drinking?
Okay, let's start with how did you get into drinking first before you answer how did you stop drinking?
Wow, that's a great question. How did I get into drinking?
Yeah.
Well, if my memory serves me right, I got into drinking from a very young age, probably in my early teens.
Oh, what, teen?
Early
14, 15?
I'm talking about 12, 13.
Oh, okay.
12, 13.
That's the early age.
Long time ago.
Okay.
And these were the days when, like, I grew up in a very big family back home in Nigeria in those days. I'm a typical Omo Naija, forget I was born in the UK. I was brought up home, so a lot of uncles, I'm just going to maybe not go too much into information in case my mom is listening in. but on a more serious note, I got into drinking from a very young age. In my household then, drinking was drinks were part of what we used to entertain the adult guests. It's not something we used to entertain children, obviously. Something, it was used to entertain the adult guests. And coming from where I'm coming from, it was readily available there. Obviously, you were not allowed as a child to go near it because they knew, like, that consciousness of you are a child. Sorry, I'm speaking about your show. What that means, for the benefits of those who may not know what I just said, it means that you are a child. You have no business with, these type of things. But like seeing my uncles that I grew up with, them entertaining themselves with it, I became curious as you would as a child. Like, okay, why, if they are having that much fun, why are they restricting me from having this much fun? So I became curious, and one thing led to another. I'm not gonna say too much here. One thing led to another, and I had my first taste, and I felt good. I felt all right. I felt good, and I felt like wow. And it was something that because everybody always, this is the funny thing. When I was growing up, everybody looked at me as a pastor. Like, my parents were so sure that when I grow up, that I'm definitely going to become a pastor, because my upbringing, like the way I was brought up a very strict way. In a very strict way. I was brought up here and there. I lived in different places growing up back then, in Nigeria. My mom and my dad were in the UK at the time, so I was brought up by my grandma, and back home we lived in family was everything. We had a lot of fun, and then I grew up with one of my uncles who was a strict Christian. So every time he would bring me to my grandma for the weekend, I was living a different life. So I was living two different lives. Two different lives. With my grandma loved me, my grandma didn't, so I could get away with certain things. But with my other uncle, because he is a pastor, he is actually a I believe he's a bishop now. He is very, very. He is the one that I used to call daddy. You know, he brought me up in the way of the Lord. So people had this thing that, oh, I'm going to be a pastor when I grow up and stuff like that. And then when he would bring me to spend weekends with my grandma. Now, in my grandma's house, not just my grandma lived there. You know, there's many of our family members who live there, and not everybody, people. That's why you have to be careful when people say they are Christians. People may be Christians by association. But not really that they are Christian because they want to be a Christian. They are Christian because this is the faith we all as a family. So by virtue of that, we are Christians. So, but when I was living in my grandma's place during the weekend, I would see, I don't do my uncle's place that I live. Oh, they don't do this there. So how come you guys are allowed to do this? And then when I go there, because he was very strict. Like, I'm talking about, we don't watch TV at his house. We don't watch TV at his house. The only thing we watch, is Mount Zion movies, Mount Zion films. We're trained to read our Bible, read our books. So it's like over there, it's like I had no social life. My social life was curtailed. So when I would come to my grandma's house was like the entertainment house. It's like, oh, wow, it was the lively house. It was wonderful. It was fun over there. So from one thing to lead into another, I would see, my uncles in my grandma's house, how they were entertaining themselves. They were drinking, and sometimes they were drinking involved. And they always chase me away, that I have no business here, that I should or more alaja. I should go and meet my I should go and meet my grandma. Right, grandma's boy. You have no business here. Like, this is for adults. So I became curious. It's like they're having fun, they're entertaining themselves, and I can see them having fun, and they keep on chasing me away every time I come there. So I became really curious, and then one thing led to another. I eventually had my first taste after much trying to get in there. After much, I eventually had my first taste, and the rest became history.
So you got into drinking because of curiosity.
Yeah.
Then after curiosity, you had a taste.
Yeah.
Then you had the buzz.
Yeah.
Yes, you were high.
Well, you are saying it. I didn't say such.
Oh, okay. Well, the buzz.
You are saying it.
I didn't interpreted it to be high. So okay. Well, I said, oh, this is a good thing, and it continues. So it continues into, when you were higher school, college.
No, so let me. It continued into. So once that happened, it became a thing with me. I wasn't like a heavy drinker. I got introduced to it. I had my first taste of alcohol, just like everybody else. But I didn't really like. As a result of that, became an heavy drinker. But back in my school days, I'm not going to mention my schools now. Back in my secondary school days, back in my secondary school days in Nigeria, when we had like social nights, drinking, we were not permitted to drink, but we disguised. Just like, I say, those, I'm being real now. I say, as a guy man back in the days, in my early days, these were the things that we used as, I be man,
like a macho thing.
It became a macho thing. Like, yes. You can't even like if you were in my settings then, and you were not drinking, or you're not chasing girls, you're not talking to girls, you're not like
you're not a macho, so
you're not exactly my point. So it became gone.
So if what I do understand is that, okay, then you are drinking just to be part of the boys, to be a macho thing. So when you're macho, then it becomes like a competition. I can drink 4 bottles, I can only drink 3, Then the person who drinks more, or who drank more, is more macho than.
So that became a thing, like that. And it also turned into a thing where every social night we would, go and hide and have a bit of drink. We would use it to impress, you will use it to impress, those stupid things that we did back then, use it to impress girls that, yeah, I'm a big boy, look. And then it now became a thing of, money. I can buy Hennessy, I can buy Courvoisier, and that translates to, oh, this boy is loaded. Look at the drinks is buying, and in reality those drinks are not actually cheap. So it translates into different things. I don't now. It's like I struggle to understand how does
let me just come in there. Earlier on we said that, okay, drinking moderately, yes, within 14 units is okay health wise, but we said alcoholism sneaks on you. You started drinking light beer, maybe 4%. Now, over the years, you sneak up to drinking NSA, which is 40%. You know what I mean? So that's why I said alcoholism sneaks onto you. So if you are not on guard, you easily just sneak up into alcoholism. So by taking NSA, if up the scale from going from 4% to 40%, that's a big difference. So 40% would do a lot of more damage than 4% in the body. So that's how people progress from moderate drinking to heavy drinking. So part of what we want to do on this show is that if one goes into heavy drinking, how do you pull yourself back? How do you seek for help? Yes. So I'll go to my next question. Is that when did you realize you are now a heavy drinker, and how did you stop drinking?
Wow, that's a great question. You're talking to somebody whose first drink ever was Smirnoff Ice. And if anybody knows Smirnoff Ice, I think it's about 1.5%, something like that. Yeah. It's about 1.5%. It's not really big of a deal. So transitioning from 1.5 to drinking with the big boys of brandy 40%, Ray and Nephew nearly 70%, Ray and Nephew, and now transitioning into drinking spirits without mixing them. Without mixing it. I never mixed. When I used to drink, I transitioned into drinking spirits. So you're talking of Hennessy, you're talking of Jack Daniels, you're talking of Ray and Nephew. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not trying to promote their brands.
Oh well, okay. Let's just mention heavy
drinking. Heavy drinking. So those were higher in percentage, and I was drinking it without mixing it with my softers. So you can just imagine the damage that can do to to someone. So that's why when you talked about from low percentage, so for me consuming 1.5%, look where my curiosity took me to. It took me to
40%, 70%,
60 and 70. To make matters worse, I actually became someone who actually influenced some of my friends who have never drank in their life to start drinking.
Oh God.
And now that I've come out of it, unfortunately, some of them are still dabbling into it. So some of them are still there. They are still where I left them. So how did I stop, right? I stopped. I had numerous health scares. Thank God I'm still alive. But I got to a point where I began to this thing doesn't make sense. Look at first and foremost, the damage is doing to my bank account.
Oh, economics.
Because all that, when I calculated all that money, that it even became a thing where when we will go to nightclubs, we will go to nightclubs, you will see people. You will see money that you can use to do investment and something lucrative for yourself. You are using it to want to impress people in a nightclub. You are buying, champagne up and down in the nightclub. You want to live a life of a celebrity that you don't even know how they're even doing it.
Yeah.
So to cut the long story short, I just came to talking about accountability now. I just came to a point where it dawned on me, like many people already cajoled me, prior to me, taking my own stance. Many people cajoled me to stop it. I didn't really listen because I think that they were crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm living my best life. This is my time. This is my generation. All that stuff. But it came to a point where, when I noticed the effect it was having on me, when I noticed the numerous health scares I've had and how it's disrupting my bank account, nobody had to tell me twice. Nobody had to cajole me again. Nobody had to, plead with me or beg me or check me. I just came to a point I was like, you know what, enough is enough.
Well, sorry to cut virgin. So you are one of the lucky ones. So they always say that alcohol creates a huge hole in your pocket that you don't know. So if you imagine your trouser pocket and there's a huge hole there, so as you are putting money in there, it's coming out. So, what it means is that, okay, by the time you're purchasing big bottles of whiskey, spirits, and so on, it's not cheap. And these days, some people, they stay at home, they want the drinks delivered. That's additional money. And if one drinks late in the night, it costs more. So when you add all these together, it's a huge amount of money, which one can use for investment. I've said maybe buy houses or shares and so on. That's number one. Then the health care as well. As we've talked earlier, there are health issues we've mentioned a lot. I mean, what do you want to talk about? Sexual dysfunction, lack of coordination, stroke, sleepiness, even mental health, because mental health at the stage as well. So all these are the health consequences of drinking too much. So you got into drinking alcohol out of curiosity. It became a macho thing, and you went from 1.5% to 40% to 70%.
Percentage.
Neat and dry. At that time, you were having a good time. You were having the boss. And as I said, that boss is what I call fake. Fake in the sense that it just lasts for a few minutes and the boss goes away. When the boss goes away, you want to load it again with more alcohol to get that boss again. Now, it will take more time to get that boss because the body is now adjusted to the initial one. So that's how one moves sneakily into drinking too much.
And I also want to quickly say one thing. Some people some people do this thing, liberty for, I think it's called liberty for license, or some people try to justify, I'm only drinking Pepsi, Coke, Fanta, I'm not drinking, all this alcohol, whether every drink, for me, this is my own take, my own humble submission, every drink has its disadvantages. Whether you are saying that, I don't drink alcohol, so I don't have business in that area. I only drink soft drinks. You might be drinking too much malt. Too much more. I know my African people. I know how we are when it comes to malt or mortar, Guinness, or whatever the case might be. Or you might be consuming too much Coke, too much Dr. Pepper, too much Lute, too much all that stuff. That comes into play on your health as well, and I'm sure Mr. Ayo will cover those areas as well.
Yeah, I'm going to add to it. Well, they say anything excess is bad. Yes. When we're talking about alcohol, we talk about moderation, 14 units a week. Yeah, if one can stay within 14 units a week, no much damage is done. Although the best thing is not to drink at all. To drink water. Water is the best drink because water flushes your body. Now, coming on what do you call it? Other beverages that does not contain alcohol, they contain sugars as well. So this they contain sugars, and we did it. I did a show on 4 sugars, please, earlier on. Excess sugars in the body is not good as well. It leads to diabetes, and it can lead to obesity as well. So, taking excess malt, excess other sugary drinks, it's not good for the body. One needs to limit it and probably dilute it with water so that you don't have excess sugar in your body, or if you don't have excess sugar in your body, the body will be able to cope. The insulin produced by the body will be able to cope. So excess soft drinks is not good for you. Excess malt is not good for you. Excess alcohol is not good for you either. Now, so we want to move up. I say you are one of the lucky ones that were able to discover in time that, look, this drinking is becoming too much, and you look at the economics of it, and you look at the health of it as well, then the time as well. Now, did you just stop straight away, or did you talk to yourself? How did you manage so that our listeners, someone who's in that situation, will be able to sort of use, your experience to stop drinking as well, if they are drinking over the 14 units?
Absolutely. Well, I came to the cognizance of, I had to do a reflection and take inventory of the life I was living at the time. Not that I just stopped like that, as in, if you have been engrossed in an habit, it's by the grace of God that you will have that grace to be able to just stop. But there were many things that came to play prior to me finally making the decision to stop. Many people had been talking to me. My parents had been talking to me. I think somebody actually reported me to my mom. This one was not a joking matter. My mom didn't. My mom was vouching. My son drinking? No, no. That one. No. If you are talking of A, B, and but that particular boy, no, because she didn't know. So, and that is to say, there are many young people who might be doing things that our parents don't know, that because they don't show the traits at home. They don't show the character at home. When they are home, the boy is good. The boy is perfect. The boy is excellent. But when they are outside, oh my God. May God deliver our parents. May God deliver our parents. So what am I trying to say? Many people had been talking to me. I was a brilliant kid. Don't get me wrong, academically brilliant. Like, drinking did not affect my academics in whatsoever. I just had a gift of academics. So I'm somebody that I can have an exam next week and prep in 2 weeks and still get a first class. So God just endowed me with that gift.
Yeah.
But when it came to drinking, I was drinking, one, curiosity, and two, I had developed a reputation out of it.
Yeah, macho boy.
I developed a reputation, and you have to, if you are from my generation, you have to keep up with that reputation.
You have to maintain it.
You have to maintain it. So I had become when Kazim is around. Kazim is they used to call me the party starter. So the party starter. So
sorry, do you buy drinks for your friends as well when you were around?
Yes, I used to.
You served around.
Basically, I was somebody. Okay, you're trying to put me out there now. Okay, that's fine. No, it's fine. I was somebody that I used to order tables, because I used to go to. I'm not going to. I used to go to nightclub. It's not a big deal anymore. I don't do it anymore. So I'm just sharing this information to try and help someone.
Yeah. Thank you.
My birthdays or any special events I'm having, I used to. You can talk to some of. I'm not going to mention their names, but there are some promoters, nightclub promoters in London who I was good business for them. I was good business.
Anytime you're around,
good business for them. So if I'm having my birthday, I put a call through to them, or one of my people, my boys. Sometimes they will help me set it up. They'll put the call through to them. Oh, Babas, they used to call me. I don't know why they call me Baba. I'm a young guy. Yeah. I'm not old. But they used to call me. You can imagine, my friends calling me Baba then.
Yes.
So they will basically help me organize nightclubs. So like will book like a table. So I normally book tables. Like every time I'm going to a nightclub, there's never been a time I go to a nightclub that I don't book a table. Book a VIP table.
Oh, that's more expensive.
And there's always drinks. There's always, and then I had a lot more female friends as well than male friends. And those of my female friends, they were into drinking as well. So it was like, whenever Kazim is around, Kazim is a party starter. You can guarantee you have a good time whenever he's around. But when I'm not there, I normally get feedback because you're not there. It was just dead. You know, there was nothing happening. And when I drink, I notice when I'm in a nightclub, I transition into a completely different human being. My energy level goes up, and once they play my favorite music, I just turn up, and the party spirit takes over, and it becomes lively. And they're like, that's the Kazim we know. That's the Kazim we know. So I had this particular reputation of like when this when the champagne is in the system, hey, my boy go carry go. So all that reputation was already there, and then me also sponsoring some of my friends. When they came to my flat, then they will come around. My house was tagged the lit spot. And what that means in our generation, for those that don't know what I just said, the lit spot, it means that the happening place.
The happening place.
So when we go to Kazim's house, Kazim has the latest music, the latest Afrobeat music. He has as in drinks that you can't. I'm not bragging now. Drinks that you might not be able to pronounce. The latest drinks, they were there, and I was auctioning those drinks. I should have been a brand influencer for those brands, because some of those brands, my friends, some of my friends ended up, because the drink, they found it in my house first. So they now, because they found it in my house, they now went to go and be buying it. So I had developed some sort of reputation along those lines. So it now became a thing where I have to continuously live up to it, and it was doing damage. But I got around it somehow. I got around the economics of it, because one of the things that I have a business sense. So when I noticed that whenever I go to this maybe nightclub, I do this, it becomes a business for them. So let it become a business for me too. So I would always partner with Luko. I'm bringing people, I'm bringing people to your night spot, and the people I'm bringing them to, they love drinking, because not only me, not all the time I sponsor all my friends for drinks. Sometimes we put money together. We put money together, and we buy. I don't want to promote these brands, but the drinks that we buy, goodness me, if you calculate all the money that we probably have spent in that nightclub, you can actually do your own. So I began to say, come on, all these party promoters, since I'm bringing people, you have to tell the bar to double the price of their drinks. So as they are selling, me too, I'm earning. So we decided to use that opportunity to make money.
All right.
For ourselves. But I think your question, sorry, I hope I've not digressed from your question.
Yeah. The question is, okay, when you how did you stop drinking? Did you told us that, okay, some mentors and everything got involved, got reported and so on. I said, did you just stop instantly, or did you use mantra, or did you use what did you use? So somebody in that situation who wants to stop now. Okay. So
somebody in that situation who wants to stop, for me, it was a progressive thing. I didn't just, I had the willpower. I'm naturally endowed with the willpower. If I put my mind, just the way I started drinking out of curiosity, it's about changing your mindset. If you put your mind, you see, this mind is very powerful. If you put your mind to, I'm going to stop doing this, whatever habit, there's a book I read, and the author was saying that if you can do something consecutively and consistently for 30 days, you will master it. So habits can be unlearned. Drinking is an habit. Smoking is an habit. If you can put your mind to it, this next 30 days, I'm not going to drink. I'm going to remain sober. So one of the things that helped me, one, my faith. Because there were times I would dedicate myself to fasting. It's a covenant between me and my God. So on this day, I am not going to do anything. I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to, do this, whatever. I'm not going to. So my faith really, really helped me, and being in touch more with my faith. Through my faith, I began to discover who I am and who I'm not. That's one. Number two, you also have to apply self-discipline. Self-discipline is very, 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 very important. When you look at it, these athletes, before they come and run this 5 minutes race or 10 minutes race, however long it is, do you know how long they've been training just to run a 10-minute race? Waking up early, maintaining diet, going to gym, doing all that heavy lifting work. Now apply that to yourself. You have to discipline yourself. Now what that may look like for you is, one, deciding I'm not going to nightclub. Your friends may make jest of you. I mean, I'm using myself as an example. They make jest of you. Look at this one. When this one change, you may say, now you the party starter. This one telling me he's not going to. Hey, come off it, man. What's wrong with you? You're not. Oh boy, I've told you I'm not going. Full stop. And if you keep on pestering me, I'll block you. You have to be that determined that I'm not this, because you have to, my Bible said, sorry, I'm not trying to be religious, but I read the Bible and there was a part in there that said, flee from all appearances of evil. So whatever is going to make you commit what you don't want to commit, whatever is going to lure you into doing that, because there's some environments that you just have to decide, I'm going to stay away from it. And there's some friends, you have to decide, I'm not going to pick their call. Because one, you may not have the willpower to say no to them yet. These friends can easily lure you back into it. So there are some friends that until you can have the willpower to say no to them, don't pick their call. Discipline yourself by not picking their call.
All right. So let me just, for anybody that is listening to us, I want to sort of used Mr. Kazim's case as an example. Foremost, it's just to admit that there's a problem, there's a challenge of drinking excessively. So with that, the problem is 50% solved. Then next comes the willpower. Willpower is that telling yourself, I'm not going to do this thing. And let me use the word forcing yourself not to do it. So I'm not going to drink today. Yeah, in fact, one of the mantras of Alcoholics Anonymous is that I'm not drinking today. They say take a day at a time. Yes, today, say today is Sunday, I'm not drinking today. So the urge will come there to you to go and drink. So we did talk about urges previously. So when the urge comes there to go and drink, then that's when the discipline comes in. So I'm not going to drink today. And these are the reasons why I'm not going to drink. It creates a huge hole in my pocket. It's not good for my health. And I've been told I'm drinking too much. And it's not good for my health as well. So when the urge comes in, get something else to fill in your mind. Yes. Walk around the park. If you have a bicycle, ride around. Yes. If you have a book, read. If you like listening to music, listen to music. If you like drumming, get a drum and drum. So, so all this takes your mind away from drink. And if your mind is away from the drink, you forget it. Once you forget it, you've won. So, and as you said, if you practice this every day, before, you're going to be 30 days. And once it's 30 days, then you're going to ask yourself, why am I drinking anyway? At least I've survived. So, And look at my bank balance. It's swelling up. Look at my health. I'm feeling better. No more hangovers. No more headaches.
Hey, that's what I was looking for.
Why am I doing this? Yes. So, just to recap again, you have to admit there's a problem with alcohol. Once there's a problem with alcohol, then you have to be determined to stop drinking. Yes. When you're determined to stop drinking, then you have to discipline yourself, and that comes in a way of forcing yourself not to drink. Then you take a day at a time. Yes. Each day, you tell yourself, mantra, I'm not going to drink today. Yes. Then when the urge comes in, find a substitute. Yes. You might take water, take a glass of water to replace the drink. Then walk around, do something that interests you. Then your mind will get off it. So, these are some steps which you can use in overcoming the challenge.
I'll just add one more to that quickly.
Yeah.
The power of words and affirmation.
Yes.
The power of words. Like, one of the things that I do is in my bedroom, I have some posted notes of things that I say to myself. I'm a child of God. I'm a child of the Most High. I say positive things to myself, because words, the power of life and death is in this tongue. So whatever you profess, the universe has a way of bringing the reality of what you've said. Yeah, that's how words are powerful. So if you say to yourself, I am not a drinker. So instead of saying, I am not, declare what you are.
Yeah.
Because I'm sick and tired of, I am not this, I am not that. No, instead of saying the things that I am not, declare what you are. I am a strong man. I'm a strong-willed man. Nothing can bring me down.
Yeah.
Alcohol will not take me down. I will come out of it. I have victory over alcohol. I am powerful more than alcohol. You see, as I'm saying it to myself now, I'm actually feeling empowered.
Yeah.
So you say those things to yourself. Now, imagine saying it to yourself every morning. Say it to yourself every morning. I'm pretty sure when you see alcohol, when you see it, something in you will restrain you from going near it.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah?
Yes. Part of the affirmation is that I can and I will not drink today. Yes, you affirm it yourself. You are not going to drink today. So if you do that every day, then you get you get the positivity, and you get the power to resist the temptation of drinking alcohol. Now let's go to the issue of relapse. Yeah, when you've done this, you've done that, and you relapse again, and your friends will be calling, let's go to club. And one day you just pick up, I'll go today. How do you handle that situation? Wow. Not to relapse into drinking excessively again.
Old habits, right?
Old habits, yes.
Okay. The issue of relapse is not something that is, how do I put it? That is not common. Nobody is perfect.
Yeah.
Even those that don't drink, they have things that they struggle with, that every now and again, they unconsciously, not by way of intention, they find themselves relapsing into it. So the issue of relapse is not something that is common, but it's something that can also be prevented. There are preventative measures for everything. So in the case of alcohol now, and you find yourself that I said I will not do this, and I have ended up doing what I said I will not do. It happens. Don't beat yourself too much about it. Don't be too hard on yourself, man. Chill out, relax, take a chill pill. It happens. It's life. Life happens to everybody. But what you have control over is your response to it. Is okay, I've messed up. Coming clean. I'm not taking the moral ground here. I've been through it. That's why I'm able to talk expressively like this, because there are times when I said I will not drink, and I've picked up that phone call from a friend, and then not that we went to a nightclub. We went maybe because I've stopped my mates now. We don't go to nightclubs anymore. If you find my mate going to a nightclub, please call the police. Okay, we don't go to nightclubs anymore. We go to joints. to go and drink pepper soup, eat suya, eat, one of those nice African cuisine. We don't parade nightclubs anymore. Those days, unfortunately, those days are over. So, and those joints, they sell alcohols too, and then maybe you sat down, you are having a good time with your friends, and then they ordered a drink, and they start to remind you of how you are the baba of drinking. Oh boy, if cars day now, this place for little, I'm pretty sure say champagne good day. And then before you know what, you feel gingered, your head is swelling, and then you dabble into what you're not supposed to be dabbling into. But so long as you can recognize that I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. I shouldn't have done that. Why did I do that? What made me? This is how I talk to myself, and I hope it's helping someone. I sit down and I question myself, because I'm somebody that has conscience. Everybody has a conscience. Don't unless if you've decided to remove or to kill your conscience, but everybody has conscience. So I challenge myself. I talk to myself. Why did you behave like that? Why did you allow what they said get to your head? Why did you misbehave? Why did you have to do that? That's the small money you are trying to save, because now you're trying to impress those friends. You went to go and spend it. What a foolish behavior. This I talk to myself. What a foolish behavior is that. And when I talk to myself, now I'm going to say this quickly, sir. There are 3 categories of people. There are people that you may need to talk softly to them. Hey, yeah, it's okay. Don't worry. You understand that? And there are some people that you need to box them.
You don't box.
Sorry, I'm not. I'm using that word figuratively.
Okay.
I'm not saying physically.
Don't box anybody.
You need to, like, the way I use words to box myself. Like, what I mean by that is I challenge myself, because I'm not a person of. I don't like pity party. I don't like when people gather. Hey, sorry, it's going to be well. Hey, sorry, I know. I don't like things like that. I like to be spoken directly. Tell me the truth. Because, oh boy, you messed up. Why now? Why? After all this time, you stay clean. Why? You understand? And there are some people that is better because they are very fragile. They are still at the beginning stage. So it's very important to identify where you are. Okay. Are you at the stage where you can take direct truth? Or are you at the stage where you are still emotional and you need to be pampered? Or are you at the stage where, before I say anything, I don't want to offend him, or don't let me talk. But in my own case, to answer your question, when I relapse, I challenge myself. I speak the truth to myself, and I walk from there. And then I put myself before my accountability partners, my mentors. I call them. I went out last night and this one happened, that happened, and I broke my commitment of not doing this, and then they begin to help me, because because you can't kick somebody while they are down. They've already opened up to you. They are already down. But if you know you're going to kick them down, then please leave. But if you know that they've already opened up to you, they're already vulnerable, and they're being sincere and honest, the least you could do is to carry them and put them back on that platform, and then begin to monitor them. So I am commissioning the mentors, the counselors, begin to monitor them. Pick up your phone and call them. And that thing you told me about, how are you getting on? How are you doing with that? I hope you are keeping to the plan. You're on the right track. So that's how you help people not to relapse into the same habits.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kazim. So, one of the things I pick up from your short answer is that you need to take stock. If you relapse, take stock. Why did this happen? How did it happen? How can I avoid it next time? Yes, and talk to your mentor. So yes, so in case, yes, I said there will be relapse here and there, but don't let that be the end point. And what I mean by the end point is that I'll go back again, start drinking excessively. No, just take stock. Yes, seek additional help from the mentor. Talk to yourself. How did it happen, and why did it happen? And find answers. For example, how did it happen? Well, because, for example, I took a call from my old friend. Oh, okay. Next time, I don't take a call from him. Easy. Yes, because I went to the nightclub. Don't go to the nightclub again. Don't go where you're gonna meet. They're gonna serve you alcohol. You know what I mean? Yeah. So these are the things you need to avoid. Avoid it and move on. So just take the relapse. I mean, if I want to sort of explain it figuratively, let's say you are going on a motorway, and there's a side road. The side road is relapse, and you mistakenly go into the side road. Oh, I'm there again. Then just find your way again to connect the motorway, and the motorway is just the motorway of running away from excessive drinking. So there will be relapses. So in any case, when there's a relapse, take a stock. Talk to your mentor and draw a plan so that it will not happen again. So, right. I've asked you, I just want you to briefly tell us how you managed to stay dry all this while, and how many years have you stayed dry?
When you say dry, I mean, are you referring to sober or
sober. I mean,
okay.
When last? How many years ago did you touch alcohol?
Wow.
Did you say,
wow, it's been a long time now.
I want you to put.
Wow. Yeah. I would say that I've lost count, but because Mr. Ayo wants me to put a timestamp to it, it's been a few years now. It's probably going to 5-6 years.
5 years, okay.
That I've not actually. Every now and again, don't get it twisted. I'm a human being like you. Yeah, okay. I'm a human being. The urge comes that especially because now sometimes when you're watching TV, when you're watching TV and they throw on advert on your, and they are advertising this new brandy or this new, and like you start having watery taste, and you're like, maybe I should go and sample it for them, or but thank God that I'm graced now with the I've been put in a position now to be able to maybe switch off the channel quickly or switch it to another channel, or just I've been graced with that position. And I also recognize this as well. I recognize that it's my mission to stay alcohol free is actually bigger than me. It's bigger than me in the sense that the generation, when it comes to my personal vision, because it's all intertwined. It's intertwined with my vision for myself and my mission, right? And when I look at the impact I want to have, I also want that to be in there, that as a shining beacon of hope for my generation to not do this or not dabble into that. So, for example, I recognize that I have people who look up to me, whether consciously or unconsciously, and I recognize that whatever I do, whatever I decide to do, now that's the part where I'm having trouble with, that I'm still working on. Whatever I do can directly or indirectly lead someone into doing something. So now that I'm aware of that, I'm aware that whatever action I take, I have to be mindful. I have to be cautious, and I have to live a life that is, what's the word I'm looking for? That is, what's that word? A life that can leave impact. A life that when people look up to Kazim, Kazim has been through this, he has been through that, but he overcame. And those people who are going through the same thing, because Kazim went through it, and he came out of it, me too, I have hope.
Okay.
Right? So that is the bigger calling. So it's not just me to stop drinking for myself, but is to stop drinking and to continue to stop drinking by way of answering that bigger calling.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kazim. So now, I mean, what I pick up from your answer is that, okay, now you're a role model. So people look up to you, and you must, I mean, be of good behavior. Yes, you must be of good behavior. You must do things which people can copy. Now, and that's foremost. And the other thing is that there's hope. So anybody out there, sort of having a challenge with alcohol, I'm sure what we've discussed will help. Foremost, you have to admit that there's a problem. And when when you do admit that 50% of the problem has been solved, then you determine to stop drinking excessively. Then you set yourself goals. Yes, this and these are the ways I'm going to achieve it. Yeah. Then let willpower come into play, mantra and come into play, and faith as well. If you're a faith person, yeah. And when the urges come in as well, there are ways you deal with the urges. Yes. Read a book, walk around the park, do a drawing, anything that you fancy doing. The bottom line is that there's always hope. Yes, there's always hope. So if you're unable to do it this time, just keep trying until you get there. If Mr. Kazim is not saying anything, we are coming to the. You have anything to add?
Yeah, I just want to, especially to my generation, my young people, and to those listeners and viewers who are watching and listening to Mr. Ayo's show, the Health Awareness Show. There's always light at the end of the tunnel, and it's down to you. I've done my very best to give you as much to answer Mr. Ayo's questions by way of empowering somebody out there, somebody who might be going through this particular challenge. Now, what you choose to do with this information is entirely up to you. However, what, as I said earlier, going back, one of my mentors exposed me to this profound statement: what you don't reveal, you don't heal. So don't think that because our society has us thinking sometimes that if you get vulnerable or if you get emotional, you are not a man, you are not man enough. Men don't, especially the men, because if you look at the statistics, if you break it down, you will see that the issue of alcoholism is more what's the word? It's more privy, right?
Profound.
It's more privy to men, especially. It's more on the men's side than the women's side. On the men's side is around 80%. On the women, it's only about 20. So from that statistics, you can check the Office of National Statistics. If you think my statistics are wrong, you can check, because they've produced the recent version of this particular issue, and is a lot higher on the men than the women. But because of the brevity of time, I want to my humble submission is, if you are a man, okay, if you are a man, I'm talking to men now, I'm a man, you are a man, we are guys, and we should be able to free to talk to each other, okay? If you are a man and you are going through this particular issue, it's not the time to form big boy. It's not the time to form Alhaji, chief, chairman. Your title don't matter in this particular instance. If you have a problem here, don't be ashamed or embarrassed. Don't feel your title is too big for you to admit it. Don't be religious. Me, I'm a man of faith. I'm not religious at all. I do faith. I don't do religion. If you ask anybody, they will tell you that. Don't bring the I'm an African. In Africa, we don't do this. Don't bring tradition. Don't bring all of that into it. It's about you. It's about your life, and it's about getting healing. It's about you. So if you know that you fall into this particular matter, what you don't reveal, you cannot heal. So if you have to be vulnerable, be vulnerable. Open up. I'm encouraging, I'm empowering men, especially men in the BAME community, black minority ethnic communities. Open up. Let us open up together. Let's come together, and let's also let's form this like a men club, so we can hold each other accountable, because men are going through a lot. One thing I like about women, they have a network. They support each other. They come together. They support each other. But what about us men? Financially, emotionally, sexually, behaviorally, all walks of life. Let's come, especially men of color, let's come together and form a society, form a club, that we can have that network to support each other. And instead of tearing each other down, let's uplift each other. That's my humble submission. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Kazim. Yes, I could take away that, well, there's hope. Yes. What you don't reveal, you don't heal. So if you're experiencing excessive intake of alcohol, don't do a macho. Tell someone, admit it. There's always help along the line. There's local charity organizations like the Forward in Essex, the Alcoholic Anonymous, and if you look at the directories as well, there are others as well near you. Open up, or tell your faith leader if you think he can help. Yes, don't do what is going to be expensive for you, but always know that there's help at the end of the line. Don't bottle it in yourself. Always seek help. So at this junction, we're going to come to the end of the health awareness show. Thanks once again to Mr. Kazim, who's been able to learn from his personal experience, and he's stayed away from alcohol for over 5 years now. Well done. And please don't forget to like and share with us on social platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Instagram, and on YouTube. Yes. Yeah, my name is Ayo Adio, a health journalist, and looking forward to talking to you next time. Okay. All the best, and don't drink too much.
And don't drink and drive, please.
Don't drink and drive, please. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
First I want to dance with you, I'm a man or if your boyfriend come in my bed, anything you want to ask me. Even if not tip, you want to make a tip, not to pickpocket. And you know go enter your head, let's do it now. First I want to dance with you, babe. I'm a man, I don't pay more get it. If your boyfriend come in my minute, anything you want to ask me. It would it please, it would it please, it would it please. Crystal Tango. It would it please, it would it please, it would it please. Crystal Tango. First I want to dance with you, babe. I'm a man, I don't pay more get it. If your boyfriend come in my minute, anything you want to ask me. It would it please, it would it please, it would it please. Crystal Tango. It would it please, it would it please, it would it please. Crystal Tango. Baby, my love, sao. You want to know wow. Orí ẹ̀ ó dàbí mo ṣayọ̀. Tí mo retí títí tó wá o. Ìyàwó mi mo fẹ́rẹ̀ o, fẹ́rẹ̀ o. Ìwọ nìkan ni mo fẹ́ sáyé o, fẹ́ sáyé o.
Online 24/7. Tag Community Voice Radio. The radio station for Thurex BAME community. Subscribe, listen live, and download our app from the Apple